Well, I think the problem that you've had here in South Korea is that you've not had a minimum wage increase for so long.
And that's that you've had to do it all of a sudden, which means it's come as a shock for small business owners and it's come as a shock for employers, the lower income bracket who really need the minimum wage hike. But economists can't agree about hikes in minimum wage, whether it's a good thing or whether it's a bad thing, because it has adverse effects. You have the likes of small employers who will always struggle. Sometimes the way to bridge that gap is to then create what they did in the United Kingdom for some time, was a family allowance. You give a family income allowance for a short amount of time while the minimum wage comes up to the proper amount, and that way like small companies are not bearing all the burden of the cost.
근데 일단 7,500원 선에서 합리적으로 봐요. 합리적으로 보고 이 최저임금 받고 있는 사람들이 처음에 일하는 사람들이나 알바 학생들이나 그런 대부분들이 그래요. 그러니까 그런 사람들 위해서 사실 이 최저임금이 기회 주는 거예요.
I totally agree with Jeffrey. It does, and the people that are working for minimum wage generally, ideally, they will be students. It's going to be pocket money. It's spending not money for an ordinary person. And that's the problem. When minimum wage becomes a regular worker's income, then it becomes problematic when too many people are working for that amount of money.
I mean, we're writing off, this is part of the problem here, we're writing off and saying, well, you know, people who are on the minimum wage are generally students or it's your first jobs. You can't assume that. I know so many people who are earning a minimum wage right across the world, and if you are relying on that minimum wage, then you're relying on that being your salary you can count on to feed you, bring up your family, and if in some ways it has to be down to the government to turn around and say we need to make sure that workers are earning enough to feed themselves and to feed their family, and that the only way to do that is through like a minimum wage and paying a livable minimum wage. You can't just assume that everybody,
그런 assumption 아니고 다만 이 모든 사람들이 아주 평범한 기준으로 살아야 된다고 그러면은 이 미니멈 웨이지 잡들이 다 없어버려요. 있을 수도 없고. 진짜 이게 평생 동안 최저임금으로 일한다고 그러면은 그런 직장이면은 잘못돼 있어요. 근데 최저임금이 알바 학생들 처음에 일하는 사람 좋은 제도라고 생각해요.
잠깐 올리비아 기자님 이야기를
지금 죄송한데
그
분위기가
얘기를 조금 이따 할 거예요.
아니
할 거고. 네.
제가 지금 보니까 이 제프리 변호사 앞에 지금 이혼을 앞두고 두 부부가 4주간의 시간을 받을 것 같은 지금 그런 느낌이 있어요.
조정
지금.
절차를.
예, 조정 절차 맞는 느낌인데.
두 분 잠깐 고정하시고요.
예.
네.
Oh no, I'd marry him. I'd marry him.
I come from a family who lived on the minimum wage. I was brought up on a minimum wage, and the only reason I'm here is because we had a minimum wage. And to say, yeah, they lived on a minimum wage their entire lives. And if you pay a livable minimum wage, then you can get a product of someone who can go on. You know, you can bring up a daughter who can go on to do whatever. But it does require a lot of help, and it requires employers to understand that is something that they're going to have to live with either now or in the future.